There are currently 8 billion people on this planet. If we expand the timeline to include all of human history, approximately 100 billion human beings have lived, breathed, struggled, and died on Earth. You are one of them. You are not the main character of the universe. To the cosmos, you are a microscopic blip. To history, you are likely invisible. To the statistical models of humanity, you are merely a data point. For most of us, this realization triggers a deep, visceral defense mechanism. We recoil from it. We have been conditioned by society, by our parents, and by the media to believe that being average is a fate worse than death. We operate under the delusion that life is a binary outcome. You either change the world or you are a failure. But this binary is a lie. The realization that you are not special is not a depressing conclusion. It is the ultimate act of psychological liberation. It is the only way to truly be free. The toxic burden of potential. From childhood, modern culture injects us with the drug of exceptionalism. We are told we are gifted. We are told we are destined for greatness. We are told that our passion will change the world. This creates a terrifying psychological burden. When you are taught that your intrinsic value is tied to being extraordinary, then living a normal life feels like a betrayal of your potential. This is the root of modern anxiety. If you believe you were born to be a star, then sitting in a cubicle, answering emails, or doing laundry feels like a tragedy. You walk around with a constant, low-level hum of disappointment, feeling that you have somehow missed the boat, that the life you are living is a pale shadow of the life you should be living. But the should is a fantasy. It is a narrative construct that has nothing to do with reality. The cold mathematics of exceptionalism. If we strip away our ego and look at the raw data, the quest to be special is a statistical impossibility for the vast majority of the species. We often define success as being in the top 1% of a certain category. But in a world of 8 billion people, the top 1% still consists of 80 million people. Intelligence. If you have an IQ of 140, statistically genius level, you are 1 in 100. That means there are 80 million other geniuses alive right now, competing for the same recognition. Talent. If you are 1 in a million at what you do, there are still 8,000 people exactly like you. Wealth. Even if you reach the pinnacle of financial success, you are merely joining a crowd of thousands who have done the exact same thing. The math is brutal and unyielding. The pyramid of specialness is impossibly narrow at the top. When 8 billion people are all told they can be the exception to the rule, the result is not a world of champions. The result is a world of people who feel inadequate because they failed to beat odds that were never in their favor. This feeling of inadequacy is weaponized by technology. We are the first generation in history to have a quantified, real-time scoreboard of our social worth. The fundamental mechanism of modern misery is social comparison theory. Humans are evolved to compare themselves to their immediate tribe, a group of perhaps 50 to 150 people. In a tribe, it was possible to be the fastest runner or the best storyteller. Today, you are not comparing yourself to your neighbors. You are comparing your internal reality to the algorithmic highlight reels of the entire planet. You compare your financial struggles to an influencer's rented Lamborghini. You compare your relationship difficulties to a stranger's curated wedding photos. You compare your body to someone whose job is to look perfect. This creates a distortion of reality. You are comparing your behind the scenes, your anxieties, your mess, your boredom, to everyone else's trailer. The result is a universal feeling of falling behind. But you aren't falling behind. You are simply viewing a mirage. The myth of you can be anything. Perhaps the most dangerous lie we are fed is the idea that you can be anything you want. This is simply false. You cannot be anything. You are constrained by your genetics, your environment, your timing, and pure luck. You cannot be an Olympic athlete if you don't have the specific genetic physiology for it. You cannot be a billionaire just by working hard. That level of wealth requires a convergence of market forces and luck that is impossible to replicate on command. Most human beings will follow the standard trajectory of the species. We will work jobs that are sometimes fulfilling and sometimes boring. We will earn average incomes. We will fall in love, get your heart broken, and fall in love again. We will get sick. We will age. We will die. Society tells us this trajectory is settling. It tells us this is failure. But why? Since when did normal become an insult? A normal life includes sunsets, laughter, good food, connection, curiosity, and rest. These are not consolation prizes. They are the substance of existence. By rejecting the normal, we reject life itself in favor of a fantasy that will never arrive. The paradox of achievement. There's a belief that if we achieve enough, if we get the money, the fame, the followers, the internal emptiness will vanish. We believe that external specialness will fix internal brokenness. It does not. If you look at the psychology of high achievers, you rarely find peace. You find the hedonic treadmill. You reach a goal, 100,000 followers, a promotion, $1 million, and you feel a spike of dopamine. But that feeling evaporates within days or weeks. You return to your baseline level of happiness, but now you have a new, harder goal. I just need to be a millionaire. Actually, 1 million isn't that much. I need 10 million to be safe. The goalpost moves forever. The hunger for validation is a bottomless pit. If you do not feel enough without the accolades, you will not feel enough with them. Fame does not cure loneliness. It often amplifies it. Wealth does not cure anxiety. It just gives your anxiety more expensive things to worry about.
The math of obscurity.
The final blow to our ego is the reality of time. We are obsessed with legacy, the idea that we must leave a mark on the world, that we must be remembered. But you will not be remembered. Even the most famous figures in history are eventually reduced to names in a textbook, stripped of their humanity. For the rest of us, the timeline is much shorter. You will be completely forgotten within 3 generations. Your great-grandchildren might know your name, but they will not know your voice, your fears, your jokes, or your favorite songs. To the universe, you are temporary. You are a grain of sand on an infinite beach. The good news. If you have read this far, you might feel depressed. You might feel like nothing matters. But this is where the shift happens. This is where the nihilism turns into freedom. If you accept that you are not special, if you accept that the universe doesn't care about you, and if you accept that you will be forgotten, then you are finally free. The pressure is off. You don't have to change the world. You just have to live in it. You don't have to be a billionaire to justify your existence. You don't have to perform for an audience. When you stop trying to be special, you can start being present. You realize that meaning is not found in the macro, it is found in the micro. It is found in the way you treat the barista. It is found in the way you listen to your partner. It is found in the work you do, not for the applause, but for the satisfaction of a job well done. A special life is a life of constant craving attention, craving status, craving more. An ordinary life is a life of connection. You don't need to be unique to matter to the people who love you. Your value is not a calculation of your net worth or your follower count. Your value is inherent in your existence. The viral hook of our culture is, prove you matter. The truth of reality is, you already do. You will never be famous. You will never be historically significant. You will never be the special one. Thank God. Because now, you can stop wasting your energy trying to become an image and simply be a human being. You can get off the treadmill. You can look at the ordinary, beautiful, messy reality in front of you and realize, this is enough. You are not special, and that is the most wonderful thing you could possibly be.